everyone. My name is Hana Abdulzahir and I'm the Sustainable Development Manager at Pylon. Pylon is an up-and-coming utility management platform, and we're here to induce a paradigm shift in the world of utility management. So the title of the session today is going to be Powering Africa's Smooth Transition to a Smart Grid, and we'll go over a little bit what smooth actually means. So today we live in a highly volatile world. There are two contrasting facts that exist in this world that are currently shaping the African utility business. The first one is that access remains a challenge. We have utilities that are existing in communities that lack access to water, electricity, and sanitation. And we are faced with a very strong imperative that modernization is a must. Utilities are all striving to transform into efficient and data-driven utilities. Now, if we talk about utilities around the world, we need to understand that not all utilities are created the same, and we need to understand Africa's unique utility challenges. So let's go over them. The first one is increasing demand. We all know that there's a large part of Africa that requires access to electricity, so we have a very high demand on power generation. And the second thing is that we have a severely impaired and damaged aging infrastructure that we need to upgrade. We are also suffering from severe losses that reach up to 40% and even higher in some areas of the continent. And inadequate access is, as I mentioned already, a major challenge. Couple that with limited investment pouring into the utility business, and you have severe financial pressure. Some might even go to call it a financial crisis. So in this scenario, we must strike an intricate balance between three things. The first one is sustainability, the second one is supply, and the third is affordability. And we're going to briefly touch upon each one of those pillars to discuss their importance. So if we talk about sustainability, I think we all know that Africa is one of the most vulnerable regions worldwide to the effects of the climate crisis. And again, this is a recurring theme. The biggest surge in energy demand anticipated globally is coming from our continent. So this actually positions us as a global leader in the race towards a net zero future. If we talk about supply, again, sub-Saharan Africa accounts for 75% of the world population without access to electricity. That means that we must aggressively move towards generating more energy, and this energy must come from clean and renewable resources. Now to the big one, affordability, which I think is the main thing that's picking people's brains these days in the utility business. We have huge prohibitive costs when it comes to infrastructure upgrades, when it comes to the task of expanding and upgrading the grid. But we also have limited funding, and so we must achieve a balance in affordability across the energy transition. And affordability isn't just in the generation, it isn't just in the upgrading of the grid itself, it is throughout every single aspect of the distribution and generation stage. And so our journey towards a just and sustainable energy future for Africa actually lies in two key steps. The first one is capitalizing on this amazing geographic diversity that we have, the amazing amount of resources that... I'll just wait for the announcement to end. Okay, so we must capitalize on this amazing geographic diversity that we have, the amazing wealth of renewable resources that we can utilize in order to generate enough energy for our continent. And we must also build a solid foundation by fully upgrading the existing infrastructure and ensuring that this infrastructure is sustainable, but also, most importantly, scalable. This is something that we've all talked about before, smart grids. Everyone here around Enlit knows what a smart grid is. Basically, advanced metering infrastructures combine smart hardware, innovative software, and they allow for a two-way communication between the utility and the end user. So what does that mean? That provides you with reliability on the grid. That provides you with a highly reliable grid, a highly secure one, and heightened efficiency, which is something that we're all striving towards. So what happens when you actually deploy a smart grid? Well, first of all, upon deployment, you have a huge amount of savings. You can actually save up to 75% of your losses once you go smart. You're allowed to integrate large-scale renewable energy systems. You have diminished losses, you have reduced peak demand. So you can finally streak that demand curve and prevent those outages from happening. You get okay. You get efficient revenue collection, which is the main topic of today, and you get reduced operation and management costs. If we talk about revenue collection specifically, AMI allows for efficient payment facilitation, integration with multiple payment gateways, which makes the payment process much more easy and much more streamlined. You have postpaid and prepaid options regarding, it depends on which direction your utility wants to go. And you have mobile applications and web portals that actually bridge that gap between the end user and the utility and allow you to finally streamline the revenue collection process. If we talk about losses reduction, you have a swift detection of energy